You need to stop thinking life is fair. Fair is an illusion sold to the weak to keep them compliant. The game is rigged, and your only hope is to rig it back in your favor. This isn't about being evil. This is about becoming formidable. Because when you're formidable, you don't need to raise your voice. Your presence speaks. Your silence intimidates. Your words land. This is the art of ruthless self-possession. And this video is going to hand you the principles, one by one. But you have to be willing to confront the uncomfortable. You have to peel back the mask and see the world for what it really is, not what you wish it was. There are two types of men watching this. The one who's already shrinking away, and the one who feels his spine straightening. If you're still here, I know which one you are. Comment this now. I don't ask for power, I take it. And if this message has hit you hard already, subscribe. Like. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Because now we enter the battlefield. We're going to break down the principles Machiavelli hinted at, and how you can embody them without becoming a monster. Strategic ruthlessness, tactical dominance, unshakable presence. Get ready. Step 1. Stop announcing your moves. Stop narrating your ambition like it's a bedtime story for the world to hear. The more you speak, the more you expose. The more you share, the more you give others the map to destroy you. Machiavelli warned us plainly. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. This is not just poetic, it's practical. To survive in a world built on deception, you need duality. Be the fox. Silent, calculating, unseen. Let people underestimate you. Let them assume you're passive, distracted, naive. Meanwhile, you're plotting, positioning, and preparing. Be the lion. When it's time to strike, strike with certainty. Ruthless men do not act impulsively. They act with precision. They know when to move, where to apply pressure, and how to disappear before the noise starts. But the average man, he leaks his strategy. He tells everyone what he's doing, what he's planning, what he hopes to become. And in doing so, he hands his power to people who will never understand his vision, much less support it. You must understand, power is not in being seen, it's in being felt. Do your work in the shadows. Build your empire without applause. Let your results speak in a language louder than your words ever could. Comment this now. I build in silence. I let results talk. And if this is waking something up inside you, if you're realizing you've been too loud with small plans and too quiet with bold moves, then hit the like button, subscribe, and stay locked in. Because this is only the beginning. The next principle will show you how to weaponize discipline and why emotional control is your greatest form of power in a chaotic world. Stick around. You're about to level up again. If they can trigger you, they can trap you. It's that simple. Machiavelli didn't just speak about rulers and empires. He spoke about self-mastery. And one of his unspoken lessons is this: he who cannot control his emotions will always be controlled by those who can. You think anger makes you strong? No. Anger makes you predictable. You think compassion always earns you loyalty? No. Sometimes it invites betrayal. You think speaking from your heart makes you real? It makes you vulnerable. And in the wrong room, it makes you prey. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally, said Machiavelli. In other words, discipline is not just about routine, it's about emotional restraint. The ability to pause, to assess, to choose your response, not react like a slave to your impulses. Let me make it clear. Ruthlessness isn't rage, it's restraint. A ruthless man walks into chaos and remains composed. He hears insult and offers silence. He feels betrayal and offers strategy. He sees opportunity and waits, not for the right moment, but for the perfect opening. Most people are emotionally drunk, intoxicated by validation, approval, envy, fear. They're tossed around by life like leaves in the wind, but not you, not anymore. Because once you master your emotional state, You become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. It makes people cautious around you. It makes them second-guess their strategies. It makes them respect you, sometimes without knowing why. Your calm is your sword. Your patience is your armor. Your indifference? That's your shield. Comment this now. My emotions serve me. I don't serve them. If this just hit you like a slap to the chest, good. That's your signal. We're just getting started. Here's a hard truth. If your goal is to be liked by everyone, you've already lost. The world doesn't reward popularity. It rewards positioning. You don't need fans. You need leverage. You don't need applause. You need results. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince is also esteemed when he is a true friend and a true enemy." Understand that. In a world obsessed with neutrality and fake niceties, it is far more powerful to be respected, even feared, than to be loved superficially. Most men today are addicted to validation. They chase approval like junkies. They'd rather bite their tongue and stay likable than speak truth and be feared for it. They sacrifice power to stay popular. Weak. Ruthlessness is not about brutality. It's about selective indifference. You're not here to entertain. You're not here to please. You're here to lead. You're here to move with a gravity that commands the room. Not because people like you, but because they can't ignore you. Respect comes when your words are backed by action. When your presence shifts the energy. When you don't need to raise your voice, because your standards already speak volumes. The truly ruthless man isn't chasing followers. He's building influence. And influence doesn't come from saying what's popular. It comes from saying what's true, standing on it, and letting the chips fall where they may. You want to be liked? Get in line. You want to be respected? Get strategic. Draw lines. Set standards. Say no more than you say yes. Because every time you trade your authenticity for approval, you shrink. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and see a man shaped by others, not forged by his own code. Comment this now. I choose power over popularity. Respect over approval. If this just broke a part of you that needed breaking, good. You're rebuilding stronger. The next principle is going to rip the veil off the biggest lie society tells you. That morality is absolute. What comes next? You won't hear in school. You won't hear from your friends. But it's what the wolves live by, and it's time you learned it too. You've been taught to follow rules, obey authority, play fair, be moral. But here's the Machiavellian reality. Morality is not universal. It's not fixed, it's fluid, and it's often weaponized by the powerful to control the powerless. Machiavelli didn't advocate evil. He revealed a truth most can't stomach. Morality is used strategically. It's a language, a mask, a negotiation tactic. And if you're too rigid with it, if you cling to it blindly, you will be crushed by those who use it flexibly. A prince must learn how not to be good, and to use that knowledge or refrain from using it as necessity requires. This is not about abandoning your values. It's about knowing when to use them and when to hold them back, when to show mercy and when to crush, when to forgive, and when to remove threats entirely, socially, strategically, economically. A ruthless man isn't immoral. He's post-moral. He understands the game being played, and he plays to win, not to be labeled nice. Most people think in binaries, good or bad, right or wrong, hero or villain. The world doesn't work like that. The truth? The man who wins defines what's good. The rules are written by the winners. The losers get rewritten out of the story. So the next time you feel guilty for not being nice, remember, nice men become footnotes. Strategic men become kings. If your code of ethics keeps you weak, broke, disrespected, and exhausted, it's time to rewrite your code. Because here's the deepest truth. Real power is the ability to choose your own morality, not inherit it. Comment this now. I write my own code. I move by my own laws. If this hit you harder than anything you've heard in years, you're exactly who this message is for. Hit like, subscribe. Don't lose this momentum, because in the next principle, we're going to destroy the illusion of fairness and show you how to manufacture advantage even in a rigged game. You're not meant to play fair. You're meant to play well. There is no such thing as a level playing field. That's the bedtime story they tell you to keep you obedient. Play fair, they say. Wait your turn. Good things come to those who wait. Lie, lie, lie. Machiavelli understood the core truth of power. Those who wait are ruled by those who act. Those who play fair are conquered by those who play well. Life is not a chessboard. It's a battlefield. And the rules aren't written in stone. They're written in sand, erased and redrawn by whoever has the most leverage. He wrote, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Translation: circumstances change, and the man who adapts wins. Too many of you are losing because you're playing by rules that no one else follows. You think showing up early, working hard, being kind will guarantee success. But you're not judged by your intentions. You're judged by your impact. Here's what ruthless men do. They study the game. They find the loopholes. They understand power flows through networks, not job titles. They build alliances, gather intelligence, and use every unfair advantage they can get. Not because they're evil, but because they're awake. Ask yourself, who's really winning in your industry, in your social circle, in your city? It's not the most skilled, it's the most strategic. You must become a man who creates advantage where none exists, who doesn't wait for permission, but builds access, who doesn't cry about the system, but bends it. That's not corruption. That's intelligence. You can sit on the sidelines complaining about fairness, or you can step into the arena and rig the scoreboard back in your favor. The choice is yours. Comment this now. I don't play fair, I play smart. If this lit a fire under you, if something primal just clicked, good. The next principle will show you how to stop begging for loyalty and start commanding unshakable allegiance. Because the most dangerous man is the one who doesn't need to be liked, but is followed anyway. Loyalty isn't earned through kindness. It's earned through power and utility. You think people are loyal because they like you, because you helped them, because you were there for them? Wrong. People are loyal to what they need, to what they fear losing, to what elevates them. And the moment you stop being that, watch how fast they disappear. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. Men are less hesitant about harming someone who makes himself loved than one who makes himself feared. Now listen carefully. Fear does not mean terror. It means respect. It means positioning yourself in such a way that people value your presence and fear the consequences of your absence. You don't chase loyalty. You create gravity. You become so capable, so strategic, so irreplaceable that people cling to you not out of affection, but out of necessity. Your presence must bring results. Your actions must breed certainty. Your leadership must come with consequences. Too many of you are begging for loyalty from people who don't respect you because you've never shown them why they should. Stop giving endlessly. Build something people need. Speak in ways people remember. Make decisions that shift outcomes. Then watch how loyalty changes. Because now it's no longer personal. It's positional. This is why ruthlessness matters. It filters out the weak. It separates parasites from partners. Comment this now. I don't ask for loyalty. I attract it by force and value. Because the final principles will show you how to build a legacy so powerful, even your silence will echo. You've come this far. Let's finish what we started. All power fades, unless you build something that doesn't need you to survive. Here's where most men fail. They build for themselves, for ego, for vanity, for a moment of applause. But the ruthless man, he builds systems, he builds structures, he builds a legacy that keeps moving even after he's gone. Machiavelli said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at your strength is not just in what you do, it's in what you build to do it for you. Businesses, networks, teams, systems, environments that multiply your presence even when you're not in the room. This is why ruthless men don't waste time. Every hour is an investment into infrastructure, something that removes them from the grind and moves them into influence. Want to know the difference between a hustler and a king? The hustler chases every dollar. The king builds a machine that prints it for him while he sleeps. The hustler tries to control everything. The king empowers others and controls the frame. The hustler wants credit. The king wants control. This principle is your gateway to the final level of power: leverage. And leverage comes from ruthlessly cutting distractions, firing dead weight, delegating low-value tasks, automating processes, scaling your impact through anything that doesn't rely on your physical presence. That is when you become untouchable. You're not just a man, and when you die, the world still moves because of what you built. Comment this now: I don't build for attention. I build for eternity. If this section stirred something deep, if you're tired of chasing short-term wins and ready to construct something indestructible, then you know what to do. Like, subscribe. You're not here to be another man chasing noise. You're here to make echoes. And in the next and final principle, we go all in. No more theory. Just the final truth that ties it all together. The ultimate Machiavellian law: how to walk alone and command armies anyway. Here's the paradox of power. You must be able to stand completely alone before anyone will follow you. In a world full of noise, distraction, dependency, and weakness, the man who can walk away, walk alone, and walk forward anyway, he becomes magnetic. People feel it, because independence is rare. Machiavelli never said, "Be feared for the sake of fear." He said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved when one of the two must be lacking." And who do we fear? We fear the man who needs nothing from us, the man who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't explain himself. We fear the one who has everything to lose, but moves like he doesn't. That's the man people follow. You want loyalty? Build it by not needing it. You want control? That means building discipline so strong you don't need reminders. Focus so sharp you don't need approval. Direction so clear you don't need advice. The man who conquers is the man who can eat alone, grind alone, win alone, and smile through it all. Because he knows what's coming. He knows who he's becoming. And when the time is right, he doesn't ask people to join him. They gravitate. So stop begging people to support you. Stop explaining your goals. Stop waiting for company on the climb. Walk alone, build alone, rise alone, and watch how armies appear when you no longer need them. Unless you become ruthless. Not ruthless out of malice. Ruthless out of clarity. Ruthless with your time. Ruthless with your boundaries. Ruthless with your execution. Ruthless with your evolution. You were not born to blend in, to build an empire of respect, power, and legacy. To become the kind of man who doesn't wait for the world to hand him anything, because he already took it. Remember what Machiavelli taught us. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. You don't need permission, you need precision. You need presence. You need to move. So here's your final command. Look in the mirror tonight. Ask yourself, am I feared where I should be? Am I respected by those who test me? Am I building something that will outlast me? And if the answer is no, change it. Today. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Rewatch this whenever you start softening, because the wolves are watching. And you're not meant to run with the herd. You're meant to lead the hunt. Until next time.